the Office of Housing is going to increase the number of available project-based vouchers in 2014 from 20 to 55. So we will be amending this plan and then submitting it upon your approval to HUD. No other changes will be made.
Thank you, Sharon, for that clarification.
So based upon that, we would ask you to approve the draft of this plan so we can submit to HUD and increase the project-based vouchers from our original number of 20 to 55 so that we can have an additional number of Big Island residents getting rental subsidy.
Thank you. Does any of the housing members have any discussion? Ms. Lilly?
Chair. Mr. Barnett, I wanted a couple of questions. On the homeowner assistance program, home ownership assistance program, and I see that is people put the option of home ownership rather than rental. And if you could just say very briefly how that works. And I guess my question is how much money is being diverted over to that as opposed to the rental, and what the cost is per unit, considering that we've got over 8,000 people on the waiting list, over 52% have children, and over 48% are in the extremely low income area. So
You want to clarify your question?
I see that there's also rental program and a home ownership program. And I have researched that what the cost of research I was wondering.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair?
What's your point of order?
In Hilo, we're having a hard time hearing because of the volume, but then if we put up the volume, then this humming sound gets louder. So people in the audience and also with the staff, they can't really understand what Ms. Willie is saying.
Thank you, Mr. Onishi.
Okay. I'm talking right, correct? Does this sound okay?
Yeah, much better.
Okay. So I'm just looking at how we're allocating funds and comparing what funds are being used for the home ownership program versus the rental program. And just as a point of inquiry, given the high, what I mentioned before, if they didn't hear me in Hilo, was that there's over right now 8,000 waiting to be on the rental, the rental program. And of those, over 52% have children, and over 48% of those are in the extremely low income category. So just out of concern as to how we're allocating funds, to what extent are we taking money from the rental program into the homeownership option program, and whether that's a good idea to continue doing?
Sharon, you want to take that or you want me to have that?
No, I can take it. So in regards to the Section 8 homeownership program, it is a voluntary program for those who are current participants of the Section 8 program. And if they are interested in becoming a homeowner and is homeowner ready, the program allows for mortgage assistance versus rental assistance. We do not allocate monies or divide money, say we're going to allocate so many to homeownership or so many to project-based. Our total funding, if somebody is interested, we would just switch over from rental assistance to mortgage assistance. So we currently have 3 program participants that are receiving mortgage assistance. We've serviced around a total of 6 families since the inception of the program about 4 years ago. 3 of them are no longer receiving. So they were receiving mortgage assistance and they quote unquote graduated and is now paying 100% of the mortgage on their own based on their income. But we do still have service 3.
It's basically being used as a transition program and not sort of taking the place in any way of the rental program.
That is correct. So it is more geared towards people who are interested and have become mortgage ready, have connected to resources in our communities and through our programs. And the mortgage assistance is more like gap funding if the individual cannot afford the entire mortgage on their own.
Thank you. And my second question is, just in terms of the 8,722 applicants waiting, sort of what do we have sort of what's on the horizon here? I mean, are we moving towards more? We've got the affordable housing project or workforce housing project, or just how do you see us addressing those 8,000 people that are waiting on the applicants list?
In regards to the number of people on our waiting list, I will tell you that we are the only county currently that has a wait list open in our state, and the list continues to grow. But since December of 2013, we've started calling people off of our wait list, the first time in over 2 years. So as of today, we've called up 400 applicants off of our wait list. And our plan is to continue to do so for the remainder of 2014 in order to spend down our allocation that HUD has given us for the calendar year 2014. So by the end of 2014, we would have called up, we're hoping, if all works out, at least 1,300 off of our wait list.
And when you say off of the wait list, where you are determining that they may be no longer eligible, and that would bring the wait list down?
Correct.
Or that that's correct?
Yeah, so our wait list, we are calling people off the wait list. So far, our statistics show that 70% have responded, that they are interested in the program, but we are still working on the processing of the applications.
Okay, so I just want to adjust my question. I guess I'm not really, for our county to be one allowing people to get on the waiting list, I'm not sure how that really plays towards what we're doing in order to address getting those applicants that are eligible into some kind of shelter or housing.
Okay, so the way the Section 8 program works is that once our office determines that a family or participant is eligible, they will search for a rental unit in the general public, so they don't need to stay in a specific area or a specific project. They would then enter into a lease agreement directly with a private landlord anywhere within our county.
I see. So all of these 8,000 people, or the number of those that are eligible, could be out locating suitable housing shelter right now and then making arrangements with you all through the program to get a Section 8 voucher.
We will offer the vouchers to those off of the waiting list based on the date and time they applied. So our wait list is over 6 years old. We're processing applications dated back in April of 2008.
Let me answer your question a little more directly. The answer to your question is no. 8,000 people seeking housing, seeking a voucher, not happening. Long story short is that as your name comes up to the top of the list, those are the people who are then vetted to determine whether or not their income requirements equal what are necessary for rental subsidy. But everybody on the list seeking housing, we don't have that kind of funding. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ryan. Ms. Ford?
Ms. Burnett, also, this man that stated earlier on, to make sure I read them. Of those 8,000, as they come up in their vetted, the reason they dropped off the list is either they don't need it anymore, or they didn't qualify.
Excuse me. Mr. Chair, can you have her move closer to the mic? We cannot hear her clearly.
Okay, okay.
That's amazing.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me? Okay, thanks. The people who moved to the top of the list who have been vetted either don't need the help anymore, or they don't qualify, and that's the reason they're dropping off the list, to be vetted out.
That's true.
Okay, so, I think you and I had a discussion sometime before that a lot of people will apply for the housing vouchers, that never would be qualifying. We seem to have, this is just a comment now, we seem to have a gap between the people at the very low end who will qualify for the housing Section 8 vouchers, and those right above them who kind of fall through the crack, they can't get the assistance, but they also don't make enough money to get into the market price housing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. Any other housing members have any discussion, comments? At this time, we will end discussion, and all in favor? Hold on. Mr. Kern, I know you're angry, but let's be patient about this. All in favor for the motion to approve the public housing agency plan for the housing choice voucher program for the county of Hawaii, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. At this time, the approval has been voted on, and we have no old business. We don't have administrator's oral report, and we don't have the next meeting. So may I have a motion for adjournment? So moved by Mr. Kern, second by Ms. Ford. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We have the ayes, and meeting is now adjourned.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you.